We've got 3 different wines to taste. So Jeff, could you go through the 2013?
Okay, the 2013 is going to be poured into my glass now. And you'll see on the screen that the label actually tells the story that I've explained to you. So, you know, it's an artist's impression of Africa and Europe including France. And you'll see a little spot in the Roussillon area and a spot right at the south of the artist's map, which is basically the Cape. And there's a connection between the 2 dots, which demonstrates the connection between the Cape and the Côte de Roussillon. So you've got to remember that the Cape is 34 degrees south and the Côte de Roussillon is 43 degrees north. So there's quite a big difference in latitude. You know, you get more oblique sun rays in the northern hemisphere as opposed to here. However, both areas are affected by a Mediterranean type climate. And Rafael's going to tell you more about the climate and the soil. So I'm just going to taste this 2013 wine. It's a 7-year-old white. And all the whites from the Côte de Roussillon that are used most predominantly, Maccabeu, Grenache Blanc, Grenache Gris, they all have a more textural feel to them than most South African white wines. They have a minerality and a salinity to them. This particular wine demonstrates what I often say, which is there's a subtle Riesling-like terpene character that comes through. There's a nuttiness that evolves over time, and there's a fennel-like undertone, which is varietal, but you know the area also has quite a lot of wild fennel, and maybe just the air carrying that scent around influences the taste. But when the wine's younger, there's often quite a floral tone to the wine. I mean, if you want acidity, you pick it a little earlier, like they would do in the Cava area. And we do make a bit of bubbly with it, and you'll be told about that. And for that, we pick earlier to get the acidity. But, you know, for a white wine, we pick a bit later. You can pick quite ripe, then you have less acidity. We pick somewhere between the 2, and we end up with a nice balance, a beautiful balance. If you want to get longevity out of Maccabeu, you need to be working with old vines, which is certainly something we have, and that will also be expanded on during the tasting. So if you're tasting this wine, I think you'll find a lot of the things I mentioned, that slight terpene, nutty character with a little bit of fennel and a beautiful textural mouthfeel with balance. And, you know, you get a lot of flavor in a 7-year-old wine with some secondary aromas that basically gives you a lot of pleasure, even though the wine is not extremely ripe. It's only 12.5 alcohol, so that's perfect for white.